Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi. Good. We'll give it some time. Here, I'll go ahead and start playing this beautiful video.
Stephanie is not a larva with mites on it.
I might be. Why
Is
isn't
that
it
you?
playing? Why isn't it
I'm
not
Kim
playing?
in the bee suit, and
I am
Stephanie's
Stephanie.
behind the camera.
I'm the larva with covered in Varroa mites there. Bear with me one moment, guys. I'm trying to hop over to our TikTok so I can share that out. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, everyone.
Let me see if I can't remember how to do things sometimes, so I appreciate your
Yeah.
patience, Kim.
Oh, yeah. You're good. I have all the patience for you for this because I know what it's like.
Girl,
I'm
it's
glad I was able to get on today with no technical issues, but we'll see what happens down the line.
absolutely. I see we are oh, wait, hang on just a second.
If
We're
you have
probably
joined us, thank you. We can't always see who joined. Let us know. Say your name and where you're from, what your weather's like. I'm sweating, like you can see here in my veil. I just had to wipe some sweat off my brow. It's
for
an
some
85 here today, so humid, very humid. How about you? Humid there?
it's very humid here. TikTok is
Mhm.
giving me a little bit of a trouble. It wasn't added there.
Okay.
Hang on just a second. I'm sorry.
Enjoy the larva with mites on it. They look like two eyes. And sometimes when you go to look and inspect your hives and you pull out a frame and maybe you bump open some drone comb and then you're looking, sometimes the pupa will have eyes already. So the you might mistake the eyes for mites, like in this situation that looks like eyes right there, but those are mites.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me share this out. I'm finally over here in Facebook or TikTok land. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you for this beautiful video of these mites. Let me keep. I'm not sure why it's
Hi,
not.
Mary. Mary's from Missouri. It's pouring down rain. Oh,
Mary,
we
hi.
need
Thank you
some
so
rain.
much for joining. She was on Facebook. We were talking
Oh,
earlier, so I know she's here to watch. So thank you so much for joining. Is that playing? I thought it was supposed to play on loop.
well, I mean, you can still see it whether it plays the video or not. If you
Okay.
get the idea of
Okay.
the mic, they're, yeah, crazy.
Okay. One more moment. I'm still trying to share this out. So thank you so
Me
much for your
too.
patience, guys.
How does
Much
our sound
appreciated.
sound? Sometimes I have, I'm not sure if I should.
You sound fine to me. Guys,
Okay,
can
good.
you try if you want to chime in, let us know if we sound okay. We just want to make sure.
Yeah. And there's some, I'll show you. Bees coming in and out.
Okay, so they're
Lots of
being
bees
active
going in and out.
today.
They are very active today. Can you hear them?
Sarah, thank you so much for joining. Oh, thank you, Mary, for letting us know. It sounds good. Perfect.
Good, thank
Let's
you.
hear Sarah, great. Sarah said it sounds okay too.
Thank you, Sarah. Is Sarah on TikTok?
Sarah is on TT, yeah. She is in
Stop
TikTok
it.
world. Okay, so thank you guys for joining. We will go ahead. Emily, thank you so much for joining. We're glad to have you here with us today.
Oh,
Kim is going to jump into her hive and what you're seeing here on the screen. Kim, do you want to go ahead and just let everybody know exactly what that is there that they're seeing there on that video?
okay, that is a drone larva. A few days ago, our apiary inspector, we call him the bee inspector, but apiary inspector, Mr. Randy Sickler, came to my husband's apiary, and which is honestly amazing. If you have the opportunity to have an inspector come out and just go through your hives with you, I strongly recommend it. We're registered, and you'll show up and they'll call and schedule an appointment with
Hi,
you,
Charles.
come out. Super helpful. He's there to help. He just wants to see what's going on with your
Hi,
hives.
14,000.
So he went through each of our hives. And when he got to mine, he scraped off some drone brood that was sticking out, and right away he was like, "Oh, well," but even before that, he was like, "Oh, I see some issues here. It looks like they're opening this drone brood and pulling them out. So that is not a good sign." So as he dug deeper, he opened the drone larva, and there you go. That's one that I
Yeah,
saved, which had mites on it, multiple mites on multiple larvae. There's other video stuff we'll show later with mites on drones. So an
absolutely.
easy way to, when you do your inspection, obviously you want to do a mite count or a mite check, excuse me. But an easy way is to just, go through your frames. If you're seeing a lot of drone brood, just open that up, see if you can see any mites in there. The mites will typically go for the drone brood, and they are pretty easy to spot there. What a good sign. You actually really don't want to see them. so, um,
No.
so yeah, my colonies are doing well now, strong in population, but that won't be the case in even a few weeks if we don't do something about it. So I am going to be applying a mite treatment, and I'm going to be using Formic Pro, but also tricky this time of year because now for the next pictures here will be 85 or 86 degrees. So I'm probably going to have to wait till Tuesday to stick on my Formic Pro. So
Yes. Okay. Well, okay,
yeah,
so I'm glad you're treating, and thank you so much for this wonderful footage. And I do have some more footage that Kim shared with us that we'll be diving into a little bit later. But Kim, can you explain exactly what you're going to do today? Are you going to do a hive inspection and we're going to talk about the different mite treatments, or are you going to try and show us some live action Varroa mite? How do you want to do this, ma'am?
we'll see what happens. They've just been gone through a couple days ago, so I'm not going to dive real deep,
Exactly.
but I would like to show some examples if I can, and we'll see what their temperament's like today. I am feeding them, so that's another thing. Technically, you shouldn't be feeding when you want to do a treatment, but you have to do what you have to do. And Mr. Sickler told me that since we're in a dearth, and I probably should have treated like 2 weeks ago, it is what it is to feed
Yeah.
them and do my mite treatment. So anyway, it won't. I'm not going to be doing it for a few more days anyway, so they're fine. So I am feeding them, and wow, there's a lot of bees up in here.
Good. That's a good sign. So while Kim's opening up, I'm just going to
Can you
explain
see them?
today. Yes, I can
Okay.
definitely see them. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just doing feeding internally, and I made a sugar water solution of 1 to 1, and
Mhm.
a little bit of Hive Alive, and they're all up in here. So we'll see. I will remove this and see what's going on and see what I can
I
show
like
you.
that you're feeding internally too, because that goes back to our what we talked about last week with the robbing. So that definitely helps prevent robbing from that hive by feeding it that way. I love that.
I remembered what we talked about.
Well, so today, guys, we're going to be talking about Varroa mite treatment. We have a field guide here. We're going to go really into depth about when to each use product, the honey super rolls, temperature window timing, the proper PPE, and the treatment role for each product here. Now, as you know, everybody knows there are a lot of different kinds of Varroa mite treatments out there. So Kim and I put this together to just make this a little bit easier for you.
Hmm.
Um, and make it easier to understand, okay, I can use this with my honey supers on, or I can use this when it's this temperature outside. Because for new beekeepers, I know especially for me, that was really confusing my first year. It's still
Oh,
confusing
oh,
now.
absolutely. It is confusing. We used to
Yes,
have a list in the store just so customers would be able to, kind of help them out a little bit as they were even looking for supplies because it is very
exactly.
confusing.
It can be. It absolutely can be. So, the most important thing, though, before we even want to start talking about what kind of treatment we want to use, is we want to monitor before we treat. That is so important because we don't want to go in blindly. Of course, if you open your hive, Kim can probably attest to this. If you open your hive and you see varroa mites and they're just overwhelming your hive, yes, clearly you need to treat.
Hmm.
However, if you go in there, you don't see them with your naked eye, always treat, know your threshold. You can use an alcohol wash or a sugar roll to estimate that mite load.
Hmm.
Um, Generally, people use like a 300 B sample. What I'm showing here on the screen is our easy check. It's the simplest way to do it. Alcohol wash is probably the most common way. What's shown up here on the screen is also a new way. It's a CO2 injector. So,
Oh,
mhm.
that's fun. I've never tried it. Have you?
No, ma'am. I do want to try it though. Look at
Yeah.
that beautiful frame of bees. They're
They're
busy.
busy. Yeah.
Oh, so busy.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's a good population in here. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want anything to happen to them. I feel horrible that in just a couple weeks' time, they ran into such an issue with mites, which is how quickly it can happen. I mean, they double their population, so in such a quick of time, they can get out of hand very fast.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's why it's always good to test. It's good to test so you know where
Hmm.
you're starting. And then when you've done a mite treatment, you know what you're going to want to do? Test again. You want to know
Yeah.
if it worked.
Right.
So know what your local mite count threshold is too. You can always reach out. Kim talk to her apiary inspector. They would have that information. Reach out to them.
Hmm.
But generally, the best if you have three or more in that 300 B sample, let's start trading. So why this matters is because there are different approaches. Okay. So what do we have there? We have drone comb there.
This is drone comb that's really sticking out, so I'm actually going to cut it off. We
Okay,
don't
so
really
I
want that to
will
be sticking out like that, if you can see.
yes. Let me see if I can hide my I don't know if I can. Let's see here.
That's okay.
No, we're maximizing you. Okay, you are maximized, ma'am. So if you want to show us if you can
Let me scrape that off and then see if I can go through that one.
so she is taking the drone comb off of there because when you are checking for mites, drones are a valuable resource to use. The
Mm-hmm.
larva, you can
I'm squishing
see
this one, but there was a mite on it. I squished it so you can't see, but I'll find another
that's
one.
okay. So it's definitely, I mean, sometimes you do have to sacrifice these drone larvae, but it's a good thing because you may not be able to see the mites otherwise either, unless you are
Mm-hmm.
testing. And it is kind of neat to see.
I don't know if you're
Okay.
seeing me, but let me know if you cannot see what I'm
I
doing. I am
cannot see
just
what
trying
you're
to
doing right
open.
now.
You cannot. Okay.
Okay,
Well, I'm
now
trying to open them up. This is capped drone larva. I don't see it. Oh, there's one. Okay. This might be hard to see. It's actually moving around. There is a mite.
oh, can you guys see the mite? Look at
Let me
that
see if I
live
can.
live action
Ah, I
Varroa
dropped it.
destructor.
There's one on my glove.
Kim, what are
Can
you
you
gonna
see
do
it?
with
Am
that
I too
Varroa mite?
close?
No, I could see
Pinch it.
that.
You could see it?
I did, yes. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let us know if you saw the Varroa mite. We found a live action Varroa destructor on Kim's drone
I
brood.
need to
How
remember to bring a
cool.
bucket down here. If you do this, bring a bucket. I will be giving all this to my chickens when we're done. So
They
they
do
will
love it.
enjoy love. Okay, so here's an example of a pupa with the eyes.
Can you pull the comb up just a little bit so we can see it? There you go. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and here's a mite. Okay, so this is very slimy. There's a mite in the back. If you can you see that?
I'm looking.
It's like
Let's
right back
see.
here, small and brown.
Okay, yes, yes.
And then here are the eyes. Are you able to see the eyes in the front there? Purpley, they're a little
Yes,
purplish
ma'am. I
color.
can you guys see them?
Is it
Mary
raining?
saw it. Perfect. Good. Mary saw it. Great.
Oh, great, Mary. So yeah, the mite is on there. So I can't tell if it's gonna rain or if that's wind.
If you need to close it up, girl, that's fine if you want to.
Oh,
I
I
know
think
you
it's
were
raining.
Okay, I know you
It'll
were
be
just
fine
in
for a
there.
minute. Well, I'm glad we saw what we needed to see. So you know what? I'll
Mm,
probably let me just keep going with your slide. I'll pull out another frame and then we'll
okay.
close it up.
Let's see. So we'll just go back to here with the why this matters. Quickly back into it. Some products are knockdown tools, which means it's going to knock those mite counts down quickly. That's what it's intended to do. While other treatments that we're going to mention here are just work better over a longer period of time and maybe don't knock them down as quickly as some of these products do. Also, your brood level, your whether you have your honey supers on or not, temperatures, colony strength, and the season all affect what kind of treatment you're going to want to use. So these things are important to keep in mind and also rotating the treatments that you're using when possible. I see you have a frame there. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Actually, a
Let me
pretty nice
hang on.
frame.
Keep that up there if you can. I'll put it. Oh, let me not do that. Let me put you on full
A
screen.
lot of bees on it.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So we're okay for now, but we've got to get a handle
Now,
on this
can
quickly.
you she's got a lot of that's a
Some
solid brood
drone,
pattern. Yeah.
some drones up there.
Mhm. It looks good. They look
Yeah,
nice.
there
Mhm. You
are a
got a
ton
nice
of
big
bees in
colony.
here. So here we have a mix of drone, capped drone brood, and worker brood.
And can you see I can see the difference if you are a newer beekeeper and you're not quite sure of the difference between regular just worker brood and drone brood. Your drone brood is going to be raised up higher. It's going to have more like a bubbled appearance to it. Yep, right there. Kim is showing beautiful examples of both side by side. So you can see the flat section that is your regular worker brood, and the ones that come up and are raised are your drone broods.
I have a bee who's not too happy with me.
I'm sorry.
They're like, all right, enough's enough.
Okay, enough, lady. Please put us
Thank you
away.
for letting us use you as an example.
They
And
look
they're
so
doing
happy today.
beautifully.
Mhm.
I know we have a queen because, well, I mean, we saw brood, but the queen was found a couple of days ago. So all of our hives have queens. So that is good. So I don't really need to do much. I just wanted to show you guys an example. So you may, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine. Absolutely. You are totally fine. We'll just go on. We have something we wanted to talk about. Let me go ahead and put this back. Let me minimize Kim here and go to the next slide if I can figure out. Sorry, technical difficulties. So, the next thing we want to go over, I know Kim and I have discussed this a little bit, is parasitic mite syndrome, also called
Mhm.
PMS. So
PMS.
PMS, guys, the bees, our lady bees are affected by the PMS. So what it is a group of colony symptoms linked to heavy Varroa pressure, and it's
Mhm.
often associated with the virus's Varroa mite spread. So common signs are going to be spotty brood pattern, sunken or perforated cappings, dead or dying brood and cells, bees with deformed wings or shortened abdomens, rapidly shrinking adult bee population. Now, this is super important because Varroa weakens bees and spread viruses. Treatment is still important, but it cannot undo existing damage. So we do need to monitor. This is so
Mhm.
important, so important because the goal is to test regularly and treat before it even reaches this level. So, how are your bees doing? Are you going to close them
Can
up
you
for
see them?
today? No, ma'am. I can
I'm just trying to show that they're wagging their butts. Can you see that?
let me put you on full screen. Hang on just a second. Yes.
Very hot and humid today. But they are taking the syrup. This was full the other day, so I'm happy they're taking the syrup. We are in a nectar dearth, Mr. Sickler tells us. Even though Steph and I were joking that our gardens are doing amazing, that's obviously not the point, we know, but it's still funny to say that we're having amazing gardens, but we're in a nectar dearth. But, we know
Mhm.
that the bees aren't getting a whole lot from our little gardens, but it's still funny, at
It is
least to
funny.
us.
It's funny to me because my garden looks so amazing and it's just blooming
Yeah.
everywhere, and I know yours is too. So,
But they seem happy. They really seem happy. I don't see them in an agitated state, which is,
no.
one of the symptoms of PMS. And actually remember this time last year we were in here and they were not happy whatsoever.
They were very angry with us at this time
Hmm.
last year. They really were,
But look at, they're very happy. We got some real dark workers in there, some
beautiful,
younger
beautiful
ones.
girls.
They aren't even minding the rain because they're not fully open, but maybe the rain is good. They can get their water source. I probably should just close this up though.
Okay. Well, if you wanna close that up, I'll just keep going through
Okay.
here if you want. I will, let me just minimize you real quick. Hang on just a second. So let's get off the PMS slide, guys, and we'll go to the next one. This is just super quick. I don't know if you wanna take a screenshot of this. There's some information you can always grab screenshots of this. This information is also recorded and available on our other places too. So you can look for that out there. But this just quickly tells you which products are safe to use with your honey supers on and which should be used with your honey supers off. Quickly, I'll go over them that we carry. Formic Pro, HopGuard, Viroxin, Apibioxol are all safe to use with your honey supers on. What you want to not what you want to take your honey supers off for the Naroa, Apigard, Apilifar, and the Apivar, Apistan, and the Amaflex. So
Yes.
those treatments are no honey supers. Do not pass go. Take those supers off before you go any further.
I know we have a few different ones, but a trick I learned when I was first starting and wanting to know the difference is anything with appy in it, you would want to remove your honey supers before using. I know there's a couple other ones in there now, but
Yeah.
I'd
Mhm.
say Apivar is pretty popular, Apigard. So,
Yep. Absolutely. So let's talk about our first one then. And let me move over here. And I know I'm excited to use this one this year. I'm gonna put it on because I too am gonna treat here shortly. I'm gonna do my mite count first because this is Naroa. This is a long window control. So this stop mites reproduction and keeps the low levels from rising. The important thing with Naroa though is you want to make sure that your mite levels are already low. If they're high, you need to do a treatment and then use the Naroa. So also again, use when your honey supers are not on the hive. And this can be used at any working temperature, safe for opening and going into your hives. This is most effective when product is stored in the brood area through the brood food. Kim, that's so beautiful.
okay, can you see that? I gotta pull my weeds.
So, how to apply Naroa. If you have a regular setup, if you're going to use 2 pouches per your brood box. If you have a 2 deep brood box setup, you'll want to apply 4 pouches, and you place them flat on top of the frames or on the bottom board with about a half an inch of bee access space. And the bees will empty them within a few days. Once the pouch is empty, you are good to remove them and your treatment is complete. There's no withholding period, so you can place your supers right back on after that. I have a little more information here on Naroa. Let's move over to that. So you'll want to remove the honey supers Again, the product is meant to be stored down in the brood chambers, not the honey supers, of course. There's no mixing and measuring, which is great for Varroa. There's literally nothing you have to do but peel off the little sticker on there and just put it on your hives. Squeeze it a little bit, make sure the syrup's coming out, and call it a day. You do want to follow the current label, PPE and handling instructions. The last I saw, they did it just long sleeves and long pant legs while you're wearing. If you wanted to wear gloves, I'm sure that would be okay too. One
Okay.
treatment can provide up to 18 weeks of control, but you always want to retest after that period just to see where your mite count is so you're not reapplying if not necessary. If your counts are high, do a knockdown treatment and then consider their Varroa. Now, on the Varroa website,
Oh, it's gonna start
they
pouring.
have a great tool. It's a timing application guide, and you just use that. You put in your location, a little more information, and it tells you the perfect time to apply Varroa in your area. So
Oh,
if
that's
you are
wonderful.
interested in Varroa, you haven't used it yet, you have some, you weren't sure when to apply it to your hive, check out that tool. That tells you exactly when to do that. And thank you so much for joining.
Is that loud? It's pouring.
We'll go on to our next product, and
Can you
that's
hear me?
going to be Varoxan. Now, it's a knockdown, season long, slow release treatment. And it does target and last up to at least 3 mite cycles. You can use this in the spring, summer, or fall when the monitoring shows treatment is needed. So again, always test. This can be used with cap brood present, and it does work best when your bees are active and contacting the strips. So you're going to want to apply 1 strip per 2.5 frames of covered bees in the brood, of course. So a full 10 frame deep brood box generally gets 4 strips. And it's easy to apply by folding and hanging. And then you're going to leave them on 42 to 56 days. And then you're going to remove them by day 56.
Can you hear me at all?
And then on our next slide here, just a little bit more about Varoxan. It's approved during the honey flow. There is no withdrawal time listed. You do want to wear chemical resistant gloves, protective eyewear, follow the label. Always check the label for the recommended PPE. There's no fixed annual number on how many times a year you can treat with the Varoxan, but treat when the mite threshold is there. So always treat. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Okay. I'll just keep going then. But if you want to try and go out and come back in, let me know. I'll just keep going. Okay. Sounds good. So next up on our list, we have, and I believe this is what Kim is going to use. This is also what probably I am going to plan on using. I'm going to check to see what the weather is though, because this one um, you do want to see. So this is a knockdown treatment. And this is a good one because formic acid penetrates the cap brood, but you only want to use it when your daytime temperatures are between 50 and 84 degrees. Once it gets above that, it could be a little risky. So that's the time, the 50 to 84 window, that's when you want to use it. And it's best used when your colony is strong enough for treatment and you have ventilation. There's a
Oh, that's
14-day
good.
treatment with 20 strips, and there's also a 20-day treatment with 1 strip and then replace it. So you'll do 20 days with 1, then go in and replace that strip. So that looks like 20 days, first strip for 10 days, and then replace with the second strip for the second 10 days. And you just place that strip directly across the top bars between the brood boxes or on top of a single deep hive. I believe I have some pictures here. Yes, I do. So moving on to the next slide. This Formic Pro can be used safely during the honey flow. Honey supers can remain on. Do use the recommended PPE. Check the label. The labels will always list whatever PPE you need. Again, test for mites and use when required, and then retest again. You do want to avoid stacking your treatments though, so just be sure you're keeping an eye out for that as well. Okay, we'll move on to our next one, which is HopGuard 3. HopGuard 3 is a quick, natural derived contact treatment. And this is especially useful when the supers are on. So this one you can use when your supers are on and the daytime temperature should be above 50 degrees. Now, if it's warm out or especially humid, please make sure to increase your ventilation. You'll use 2 strips per brood chamber. So it's 1 strip per 5 frames of bees, 2 per 10, and you hang them between the brood frames. I do have another picture there so you can see how to do so. So there's no chemical residue with the HopGuard 3 either. Gloves are, I would use gloves with this. Again, follow the label for PPE, and if you want to repeat it, just test to decide whether another round is needed for this one. And then we'll move on to our next one, which is the ApiGuard. And I know we had some ApiGuard users, so we'll go into this one. This is thiamol gel. This is a slow release and best used after your honey harvest in temperatures between 60 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It may be less effective at lower temperatures because you really want your bees to be active and walking around for this to be its most effective. In the summer months, just after the honey flow is the best time to use it. Now you want to open your entrances for airflow, place the tray on top of the frames and centered over the colony. If the tray is close to empty, replace after 10 days and leave that second tray up to 4 weeks to complete your treatments. Now, this one's not approved for use during the honey flow, so that's why it's best to just use it after your honey harvest in the summer to avoid that. Follow the label for the PPE for thymol handling. Definitely that ventilation matters, so make sure your entrances are open as the label instructs. You use 2 50-gram treatments per hive with a 14-day interval, and then you're going to retest. And here you see our friend using the ApiGuard. Then we'll move on to the next one. And this is Life Bar. This is thymol, eucalyptus oil, Elmenthol, and camphor. Now, this is a natural treatment option and useful if you want to just keep something rotating. It's ideal when your temperatures range anywhere from 65 to 95. So you got a good window there. And it's even useful in cooler temperatures where thymol treatments struggle in those climates. However, it's not available for sale in Hawaii or California. Let's keep that in mind. 3 applications are necessary. So even if you're seeing mites start to fall down and you've done 1, 2 applications, you're seeing the mites, they're already at the bottom on your bottom board, apply that 3rd treatment. It's necessary, and apply it 7 to 10 day intervals. The 10 pack has 20 wafers. Using 3 wafers per colony treats about 6 colonies there. So you want to use outside the honey production. So no honey supers on here. Um, Follow the label for your PPE, of course. It does contain aromatic active ingredients, so do avoid skin, eye exposure. The 3-dose sequence is a 1 treatment course, and you can do this annually. Again, retest, always retest. Kim, I love your beautiful hives there. I wish you could talk to
Can
me
you hear
still.
me?
I miss you. Okay, and we'll move on. This next one is Amaflex, and this is Amatraz gel, a flash treatment. This is a rapid knockdown before, between, or after the honey flow, or before a slow release treatment. It's a short 7-day treatment period. There's no temperature constraints. The colony should be active, so no overwintering for that gel contact. A single deep brood box gets 2 doses of the gel, and a double brood box setup gets 4 doses. The dosing applicator delivers 3
You can, Mary?
milliliters onto the wooden supports.
Let me know if you can hear me. Is it just Steph that can't hear me? I'm being silent this whole
So
time.
do not have your honey supers on for the treatment. It's again designed before, between, or right after. We want to always follow the label. That's the most important, I guess, just always follow the label to know what PPE you're going to need there. It can be 1 7-day application. So with the brood, you're going to get around 60% efficacy, a single application, and more than 80% with 2 consecutive 7-day applications separated by a 7-day break, and always just monitor to check
Thank
and
you,
see.
Mary. Thank you for telling me that. So strange.
We'll move on to our next one, which is Apistan. So this is going to be a spring fall strip treatment. So it's effective control may be achieved in spring before your first honey flow and fall after the last honey flow. You want to, of course, monitor. And you put 1 strip for every 5 frame of bees and place according to the label in the brood area where your bees are going to contact the strips.
Thank you for giving me rain, Mary.
So there's no fixed annual maximum treatment amount. So you can use this, but always test. But you do want to rotate these. So make sure you're rotating, because some of these ingredients, I'm not going to butcher that, guys. I'm sorry. Pyrethroid resistance. So yeah, just check, make sure, rotate. You always want to rotate. And then we'll go on to our next one, which is Apivar, which I'm pretty sure this is probably one of the most common treatments out there. This is one that a lot of people are using. Hey, Prophet Queen, thank you so much for joining. Apivar is a slow release treatment that we're using in the spring and the fall. It is most effective during periods of bee activity, and there's no temperature restrictions when applying the Apivar. You want to apply 1 strip per 5 frames of bees. So about 2 strips. And then you're going to leave them in there for 6 to 10 weeks and remove at the end of your treatment.
They did recently change their formula. Maybe she'll go into that.
You don't want to use this when your honey supers are on. However, there's no withholding period with the Apivar. So your supers can be placed back on immediately after you remove your strips.
Mhm.
Again, I'm sure you
It
guys are
was
tired of
different
hearing me say
before.
this today. Follow the label for your PPE recommendations and make sure that you're
AthoGuard
testing to know
2.0.
your mite levels and then retest afterwards. Again, rotate with different modes just so you're not using the same treatment every time. Keep them from building up that
It's the same
resistance.
active ingredient.
Now, the next one is going to be oxalic acid vaporization. And this is a phosphoretic mite knockdown treatment, best used when mites are on adult bees and not protected under the capped brood. So best in low brood or broodless periods. It's useful for packages, swarms, or cleanup treatments. And when fewer mites are hiding under the cappings. So you do want to follow the directions. You want to seal the entrances or cracks as directed and treat as a knockdown tool. And then again, guess what we're going to do? We're going to recheck our mite count to determine what we're going to do next.
Thanks
So
for
this
joining,
is listed
everybody.
as an authorized year-round treatment. This is why a lot of people do use it. They'll use it as their they'll get out there in the wintertime and use it. It's the one thing you can use on a January day when it's warm enough. You can jump out there in the bee yard and use this. Just make sure check your broods. You do want to wear respirator, gloves, and safety glasses. This is a vapor, so this is a little bit different treatment. Now, the next slide I have, that's all the products we have, guys. That is all the products we're going to go through today. It's pretty much all the products we do carry for the mite treatment. So the next slide I have, if anybody just wants to take a screenshot of this, it is the products that we have. Can you have your supers on? Is there a temperature regulation or limit? What is the treatment length? And what is the role of this specific treatment? So if you want to take a screenshot of that, please feel free. Otherwise, if there's any questions, that's basically all I have today. Since I can't hear my partner over there, I am going to leave it open to any questions for just a few more moments. But otherwise, this was a great live. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Just a few things I do want
Yes,
to
thank you.
go over real quick over on pardon the way I say these things. I'm not sure how we can say things somewhere, but we are here on TikTok, so thank you. Be sure to come and join us every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time here on TikTok. Over on Book of Faces, we are live here, same every Thursday, and on YouTube as well. So please check us out. These are recorded as well. So check out those other places if you would like to see this recorded. It is there. If you just need some screenshots of the information or more product information, it's over there. I'm going to end this with some videos that Kim shared with us. So these were her mites.
Thank you so much, Mary. We're glad you came today.
Let me just do this. Hang on.
Thank you
We'll play
for
it.
helping us out here today, Mary. I hope everyone can hear me. We appreciate you for coming today and listening to our live and watching me do an inspection. Even though now
You can
Steph
see
cannot
the
hear
mite on
me,
her
but I
bees
can hear
there.
her.
It's quite interesting.
Yes. And when you can see the mites like that, it is definitely an issue. So I would suggest if you haven't done a mite treatment that you go ahead and try to get that in very soon.
You are so welcome, Mary. Thank you so much for joining us. It was so much fun. If you have any questions, just hop back over to that thread if you want, and we'll be more than happy to answer them there. Otherwise, there's Kim's poor little bees with the mite. So she is going to treat them and take care of them. And guys, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your Thursday. It's been so fun hanging out with you. And we hope to see you again next Thursday, same time, same places, 1 p.m. Eastern Time.